Honda Zero Series in-depth tour.
I
got a Honda Civic 2016. My last car was a Honda 09. I fuck with Honda's heavy. If these motherfuckers go crazy, I might be Honda for life.
This development from Honda, the Zero.
This motherfucker, to me, I fuck with futuristic looks, and it's like a futuristic Lambo.
And the
and
Zero
it's a Honda,
SUV,
though.
full electric, futuristic vehicles. This one, the design, ambitious. They've put an emphasis on the sort of lightweight appearance while maintaining space on the interior. You're in the future, man.
This nigga look like a monkey. Straight up. No racial, though. No racial. He just look like a monkey.
Sunset gradient.
Nothing against that nigga, though.
Turn signal. Mo, show the people. Look at this.
Damn.
The Honda Zero Saloon is going to be the flagship. This is the model that represents this new identity. If you look at the design of this thing, what you're gonna see is straight walls on either side. The doors and the glass, rather than what they typically do, sort of curving inward, they follow this straight line. And what that means for you is that even though you have what looks like a slim or thin profile, which is also incredibly low, you're actually getting more space, or at least a feeling of space on the inside because of this particular design decision. It has a retro feeling to it while still feeling new. And
I need to see the
speaking on that retro aspect, if we come around back, this has to be one of the craziest areas. This rear tail light, which also acts as your signal indicator, and really for me sends a signal about where Honda is going and their willingness to embrace this new technology. For me, this reminds me of retro gadgets, but
and I know that it's gonna go crazy. I said based off my other cars. I literally chose my 16 Honda over a 2020. I think it was a Toyota. I can't remember if it was a Camry or what. It was some. And it was a few things. One, the 16 was pushed to start. The 2020 wasn't. Which I know they got them pushed to start, but that one specifically wasn't. I don't know what the hell. And it was a few other things, but the one I got clean. And this is 16, so I know this right here finna go crazy.
Same time, it's not one of those mirrors. Each of these light strips can operate independently, and the startup sequence actually showcases that, and then the Honda badge pop up last as part of that sequence. Some other design decisions, since we're back here already, you can see we have this unusual pattern. It has a forged look. When you look at the inside from the top, I mean, it's dominated by this massive glass panel, and that again brings you back to this sort of airy experience. The floor, they've managed to get it extremely low and flat when you're inside. So even if you're in the rear seat, you feel like you've got tremendous amount of leg room. They have a steering yoke on the inside, and that's because of their target here for level 3 self-driving, eyes off the road self-driving.
To the driver, move up, my legs knee wrong.
You also probably noticed that the doors don't have handles. They're meant to be automated. And this is extremely early at the moment, but this vehicle is supposed to sense your presence through facial recognition and actually unlock the car because of it. It's got LiDAR sensor.
That's fire, but I still want a door. They probably gonna end up putting doors on it just for safety reasons, because you just never know. You don't want your shit to go wrong and now you stuck. You feel me? Put a door on my shit.
Integrated in the top. One of the more elegant integrations that I've seen. Some of them tend to look bulbous. This one sort of follows the line of the vehicle. And that LiDAR is one of the core sensors when it comes to that self-driving capability and obviously recognition of not just other cars, pedestrians, objects, animals. The headlights have a motorized cover when you lock the car and walk away. And then when you approach it and it senses your presence, then those will lift up. We have this grille on the bottom, which also is lit. The wheel selection, again, futuristic. Obviously, some sort of efficiency component as well because they're flat and covered. This one has no side mirrors, just cameras. Now, the eventual model...
I ain't gonna lie, Tesla got 24 hours to respond to this shit. Tesla might be cooked.
They need to have side mirrors for the moment, though. That's a pretty cool look. Look at this. Is this the world's coolest turn signal? Damn, and the depth, like this 3D effect that it has, it might be the coolest aspect of the car. At first, it's a little shocking, right? You see it and you're like, that is really different. But then it becomes distinctive, like it grows on you as you look at it. I should also mention, I can't open this trunk right now, but it will be a functioning trunk, obviously, when the vehicle's ready. This is the Honda Zero SUV. Obviously here we have a familiar SUV stance with some of the same design language and styling from the saloon. Straight line, maximizing glass, headroom, and the feeling of lightness and space on the interior. This one sort of has door handles. These are touch sensitive, but then the door is operated via motor. Now in this case, we have sort of a more rugged look that you would associate with an SUV. We have a slightly more blunt front end. I mean, it still looks futuristic. We've got this black and white contrast going on, including our integrated headlights and still that new Honda emblem on the front. And the rear is all about maximizing volume and cargo as well as headroom in the back seat. Here you can see the trunk opening up. Obviously, plenty of cargo here. We were probably going to have folding seats, but one of the surprising things, something I haven't seen before, is these tables that fold down. A little bit of extra storage, but also for organization. If you're tailgating, camping, barbecuing, if you want to put your drinks there, they're on both sides as well. Flip those down. It's a unique idea. It's important to note that these vehicles aren't completely final. They're closer than a concept, but some things are subject to change prior to production. I should also mention at this point, both of the new vehicles have a target of 300 miles of range. So now we can get a better look at the interior here.
Wait, how many?
On the Zero SUV. Target of 3 range prior to range. So now we can get a better look at the point. Both of the new vehicles have a target of 300 miles of range. So now we can get a better look at the interior here on the Zero SUV. You can see you've got your steering yoke. They have maintained a signal indicator and a drive selector beside the steering yoke. The dash is dominated by this.
I want to see the car though, because maybe I would get the truck actually. I don't know. They both clean. They both clean.
Large display which sort of flows through the center, and then our cameras that are being used for side mirrors. So this is your cockpit. Obviously, when you switch to a steering yoke, you're going to get this feeling of space and visibility where you would normally have your steering wheel. And with such an emphasis on self-driving,
I ain't gonna lie. I was sold on the Tesla truck. I'm gonna get a Tesla truck. I'm gonna get a Tesla truck. I'm gonna get a Honda. They might have did they big one with this one. I ain't
move towards self-driving. The concept here is that the benefits outweigh the drawbacks of shifting to yoke-style steering. Some of this may change on the interior final product, but you can see we have wireless charging here at the moment. This model is not equipped with a passenger display, whereas on the Zero Saloon, it is, which I'll show you in a moment. We have video for our rear view mirror, and that's gonna be the same on the two vehicles. Now, the front is impressive, it's comfortable, but it's more impressive
with these newer electric cars is the technology that's going into them is a lot. And I'm scared of it messing up, like, because it's just, cars is already expensive as is, but now your fucking mirror, your rear view mirror is gonna be a camera. So it's like, what happens if the camera messes up? You feel me? Not that's another thing you gotta buy. It's just, I feel like it's a lot of electronics going into it, which I love the future. I'm here for it. It's just, I'm worried that shit gonna be messing up, and that's more money out your pocket.
Impressive in the back. As you'll see here, I've got, I'm 6 feet tall and I have a lot of headroom here. Huge piece of glass.
This is clean,
the windshield.
I just peeped how big this fucking the glass above them is. And of course, this is the model. It might change, but I actually like that. Like a really nice, big. I actually really like that. I'm thinking like nighttime driving and shit. Like, I think that'd be cool.
Meets this center joint, and then it's basically glass the entire way back. Obviously, our window is glass, and we have this secondary small glass window here. But as you can see, I have that this was my driving position fairly far back, and I'm still having the feeling of tremendous space here. Yeah, the carpets are unusual, actually. There's a kind of abstract pattern there, and the floors are actually fairly flat. We do have a slight hump here. You're gonna see when we get into the Zero Saloon that it's completely dead flat. I think we can go to the saloon. So the doors here are also motorized, and the idea with the vehicle being intelligent and the vehicle being wise enough to actually interpret the individual that approaches it via facial recognition to then not only unlock the car, but actually open the car door as well. This is the idea.
They're gonna have to, it depends. Like, so right now in the 16, the one I got, you can set it up to where if you got the key with you close enough to the vehicle, all of the doors will lock, but when you go to pull it, it'll unlock, which is pretty cool for like a 16. I don't know how I feel about it recognizing my face though, because let's say motherfuckers is like trying to stick me up or something, like some random shit, I don't know, and You feel me? Like they got me to my car. I'm like, oh shit, I ain't got my key. And that bitch is open. Like you feel like that motherfucker like, oh, this nigga right here. It just opened up and it's like, oh well, I guess I'm getting robbed for everything in my car too. You feel me?
Yeah. The other thing that it does when this door opens, the steering yoke spins in a completely upside down.
That scenario is slim, especially. I'm assuming niggas that's gonna have this cars, this probably gonna be a pretty expensive car. I'm assuming Hondas is affordable, but there's some, I don't know. I actually have no idea what this is gonna cost. This is like some next level shit, literally. So we'll have to see. But I wouldn't think a nigga driving this gonna be getting, you feel me, in areas to where he getting robbed and shit. But you never
Fashion
know.
to provide you with greater amount of room for entry and exit into the vehicle. So you can see as this door closes, the steering yoke
That's
spins.
fire. Like even that's fire. Just the fact that bitch spins, so you got more leg room to get in. Like that's fire.
And my seat moves forward into my driving position, which again, I would be recognized as a unique individual, and this setting would then be tuned for myself without a special input from a key or an app, but instead via facial recognition. So this display takes things a little bit further than on the SUV.
Honestly, I know a lot of niggas probably like, oh, facial recognition. That's my concern with that, but I'm not too concerned about like other shit with facial, because I mean we all use it on our phones and shit. You feel me? So it's like, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to the car. It's like I said, and even the thing I said before, it's not a major concern. You feel me? So.
Because now we've also got a display here for the passenger, so it flows the entirety of the dash, and each of the two side mirror cameras are angled even a little bit more towards the driver. Now we've still got our drive selector, same for our signal indicator. Now the feeling of space in here is just massive.
Oh my goodness,
honestly,
man.
it's not just a thing about glass. Like they've lowered the floor here. It just feels bigger on the inside than it looks from the outside. I think that was what they were hoping to achieve, and that's definitely the case. Now back here, this feels like a living room. Of a 4-seat configuration is tremendous comfort, obviously, for 4 passengers. This flat and low floor gives a...
This is crazy. This is a lot of... This the car. It's not the truck no more. This the car ain't got this much labor.
A sense of space, almost like domestic comfort, you know? Almost like a room, a little more than a vehicle. It's just a huge amount of flat carpeted space. The seating curls around you. They've got speakers integrated as well for more immersion, and a massive piece of glass, which you can appreciate even more from the rear than you can from the...
It's got color into it. Is it tinted, or is that like a light? Kind of like a purple light. I don't know. That's
front, as well as that ambient lighting that flows around the entire perimeter of that piece of glass, and just how much ambient light we have. We've got a strip that travels around the entirety of the interior, just below the windows, this glass panel, footwell lighting, which also matches through this acrylic piece, also in this strip and in a strip in the rear there. Tons of different areas that you notice that they've implemented this ambient lighting, and part of it is how they're thinking about moods.
Lighting is fire though. That the lighting mood, like, if you... Like a lot of the newer cars had that, like, just it's kind of just like ambiance, I guess. Like it's really, and it adds actually like a really nice touch to cars. You feel me? Like just having that lighting when you come in, and it's like purple or red or some shit on the side. That's fire to me.
Driving modes will not just manipulate the lighting, but they'll manipulate the sound, the fan speed, and the driving dynamics. So you can see the awaken setting is currently, as part of the preset, it's the economy driving mode, whereas if I switch to exhilarate, it's gonna put it into a sports driving mode. It's gonna change the amount of bass that I'm hearing. Of course, you're going to be able to edit these, but these settings are all about creating a particular mood. But in the long term, through the facial recognition, getting to know the individual that drives most frequently and what their settings normally are, it's going to be able to do a lot of this automatically. That's the goal. So if I select exhilarate,
this is a side note. This nigga hairy as hell. I don't know if I ever seen a nigga have arm like on his bicep like that. Like his arm, the hair is literally like going on to his bicep. It's not on the front part. I know y'all technical muscle, y'all niggas that be in the gym. That's not a bicep. That's it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? This part of the fucking arm, tricep, whatever that shit is. He got hair right there.
We get different sound settings, as you can see. So I can switch then to awaken, for example. This is gonna change my lighting effects all over the place. Same goes for unwind. And then if I switch to a parking mode like serene, this will actually change the positioning of my chair, and it will spin that steering yoke back around, knowing that I'm in a parked position and maybe I wanna work on my laptop, maybe I just wanna relax. This serene setting actually vibrates my seat a little bit in a subtle way. So when you select one of the modes and it switches is the best. Yeah, select it. It's crazy. That's one of the better ambient setups that I've seen. I've seen the wildest ambient setups and they went for it here. It really comes down to the volume and the amount of lighting that you can fit.
I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. We done with the old shit. Let's go to the future, nigga. Let's go.
The lighting under the acrylic armrest for the driver, it is also dynamic.
Whoa,
That's cool.
You see what I'm saying? Now switch to another one, switch to awaken. So this is a little bit brighter. This
wait,
is
that
to wake you
purple?
up.
Wait,
Cool.
You see what I'm saying?
This purple flash was happening inside the car. I thought that was happening like in the background.
Now switch to another one,
It looked like it's going on in the bag. So this all is happening inside the car.
switch to awaken. So this is a little bit brighter. This is to wake you up. Try unwind.
Vibey, cool. Now the
Orange
first
is
one was
interesting.
crazy, though.
It's
The
vibes in here, man.
Hell
You're just
yeah,
back
nigga.
here.
I would dead ass go on a date in this, like, have the date night in that motherfucker. Like, get like a fucking nice size computer or tablet or something, and literally just vibe out. Like, swear to God, get some snacks or something. I don't know about eating snacks in there. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta keep that motherfucker clean, but maybe, and just vibe out for real. Damn.
Nestle by D's.
Yeah, you're just back
Honda,
here.
please. Honda, I'll do anything. Sponsor me. I will never drive another vehicle again. I don't give a fuck if it's a Benz, a Ferrari. I don't give a fuck what it is. If Honda sponsor me, nigga, fuck any other car. I'm not driving it. I don't care.
You're in
Like,
the
straight
future,
up.
man. So you just imagine you come in here, you're in a bad mood, had an argument. You just click
Straight
that
up,
serene button, lean back.
I don't care
relax.
if niggas coming around that motherfucker Ferrari, Bentley, Range Rover, Lambo. Like, fuck all of them cars. If Honda willing to sponsor me, I'll never drive another vehicle again. But y'all gotta give me one of these. Y'all gotta give me one of these.
Relax,
That's a
let
fair
it melt
trade.
away. Try meditation. Let's see what it does. Meditation mode takes us somewhere above the Earth's atmosphere into space, where we can recognize how small our problems actually are relative to the scope of
Nigga,
the
I'll wear
universe.
Honda clothing and all. Nigga,
So
I'll just be
what do we
dripped out of
have here?
Honda
We
shit.
have a brand new direction
I am
for Honda.
Honda.
We have fully electric Honda vehicles that look futuristic, that manage to look light from the outside with space on the inside. We have two to choose from. The SUV
I
will
work at
actually
Kevlar,
launch
crazy
first.
enough.
So this will be the beginning of 2026. This will be some later point in 2026.
Oh,
Self-driving
2026.
functionality
you can say
level
that.
3.
All right, John, let's run it off. This the goal right here. By next year, I gotta have enough money to buy one of these. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I gotta do it.
Eyes off the road, relaxation, LiDAR to pick up your obstacles. I'm extremely excited about more players in the EV space, to have a storied brand like Honda present these ambitious
Bro.
options is something I'm looking forward to.
Now Honda might change the game with this one. Like they might. I fuck with Teslas. I'm not gonna lie. What I've seen of them, I haven't really watched like an in-depth video like this, or like a future Tesla like coming out or something. But this is like nothing I've ever seen before in a vehicle. Other than like that Benz that's like futuristic as hell. Yeah, and to me this is better than that. This one different. You said sharp glass. What is sharp?
Almost like a room, a little more.
Oh, yeah, that shit is sharp as hell. I ain't even peeped that. I'm like sharp glass. Nigga, you walk into that on accident, nigga. You might that one gonna stab your ass. Modern car. This not a modern. This is more like a futuristic car. I mean, personally, I really like it. I'm gonna be honest. I really like it. Shout out to Honda, man.